All right. Um, I'm not sure why, but this looks weird. This looks weird, but very strangely, this looks fine. This is very strange. The way I would change this is, I think I would add a 시대 at least, like a, not 시대, but 시대. 코비드 시대 이후 크게 바뀌었어요. Um, okay. However, if you write it in Korean for some reason, you don't need the word 시대. Why is this? I don't know why. But yeah, it just sounds weird like this. Now, because I guess in Korea they don't write COVID, they write at least COVID-19. Maybe this is a little bit better, but I think this looks the best. So, um, and also the other thing is insane. I think it's too big a unit, and I assume the only reason I would write insane is if, as a result of coronavirus, you got married or you found a new job. You didn't just find a new job, you found a job in a completely different industry. Then I would use the word insane here. Or, I don't know, like if you ended up living in another continent or you separated for life from your family, like really big strokes, like 20, 30-year stroke changes in your life, I would use the word insane. If it's like things like this, I wouldn't use the word insane. It sounds exaggerated. So I would say, I think some sounds fun. 제 삶은 oh, suggestion. 제 삶은 코로나 이후 크게 바뀌었어요. 첫째, 집에서 일하고. Okay. We either need a colon here or let's use colon. 첫째. 첫째? Looks weird. I understand this came from the English, like first, comma, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's leave it as now, for now. 네. 첫째? looks weird. 크게 바뀌었어요. Let's do 1. 1. 집에서 일하고 정말 느리게 처리할 수 있어요? What does this mean? Okay, work from home. I like process it slowly. Processing what slowly? Work? I assume it's work. It's in the same sentence. So, like work moves slower? Is that what this means? Okay. If you're talking about work here on the slower, I don't think you can use the connective 고 here because you use 고 if you are listing two things that are on the same level. So if the first thing that you're mentioning out of your list of items is working from home, the next thing, it'll be a little bit weird if the next thing is something more in detail about that work from home. I think if this second item was something like, I don't know, like my children study from home, then I think you'll be at the same level as the first item. I think And I think if there is somewhat of a cause and effect relationship between the second half and the first half, I think you could use 일하면서 while we are working from home. Another like side effect of this working from home is that everything moves slower. 집에서 하면서 업무가 많이 업무 속도가 많이 느려졌어요. Oh wow, there's no more numbers afterwards. There's no 첫째, 둘째, 셋째, nothing. Okay. Uh, then if that's the case, I think a number looks weird. I think we would say 먼저. 제일 먼저. 제일 먼저는, or is this mentioned because it's the biggest change, maybe? It looks like the biggest change. So should we say 제일 중요한 것은? 제일 큰 거는? 제일 큰 변화는 집에서 일하면서 업무 속도가 많이 느려졌다는 것이에요. Oh gosh, I'm changing too much. Unfortunately. Sorry. I'm changing so much in the sentence. But yeah, I'm just trying to make like fix everything, not just the spelling or grammar, but also like the flow of the sentence. Anyway, so 또한 이제는 규칙적으로 운동하고 건강에 더 잘 먹어. Okay. 또한, okay, so here the 또한 connective, because we used the 것이에요 earlier, I think it's a good fit. 또한 이제는, okay, if you're using 이제는, I think you need to say something. 먹게 되었어요. 이제는 먹어요. You know, that's not impossible. I think it's okay. 또한 이제는 no, but the fact that we have 또한 here, I think if it's just 이제는 먹어요, it's fine. But if we said 이제는 먹어요, I think there need to be a contrast in an earlier sentence. Before blah blah blah, 하지만 이제는 blah blah blah. But we don't have anything about the before, that I didn't do exercise or that I was unhealthy. It's not listed. So because of that, and also because we are using 또한, I think you need to use 먹게 되었어요. 또 번째는 규칙적으로 운동하고 건강하게 더 잘 먹게. Okay, so is the 건강하게 referring to the eating here? Or is it some sort of like an intermission between the workout, which is also healthy, and the eating well, which is also healthy? Is that what's going on here? Okay, let's assume that this 건강하게 refers solely on eating. Okay, so if that's the case, 이제는 규칙적으로 운동하고 I'm not sure there's a clear way of indicating that this 건강하게 is specific about eating only. Just listing two adjectives. Partly because it's a verb, not an adjective. And here it's, well, this is an adjective, but something like an adjective. So I think we'll need to repeat the verb 먹다 twice. 이제는 규칙적으로 운동하고 건강하게 먹고. 건강하게 먹고 sounds weird. I think I would say 건강한 음식을 먹고 더 잘 먹으면서 건강하게 또 더 잘 먹으면서 건강하게 먹게 되었어요. That makes sense? 또한 이제는 규칙적으로 운동하고 더 잘 먹으면서 건강하게 먹게 되었어요. Okay. So 잘 먹다 comes a little bit weird, comes across as a little bit weird to me because 잘 먹다 is to eat a lot. Well, to eat well, but also kind of a lot. So if this person is someone who used to undereat for whatever reason, who couldn't eat a whole lot, and thus not eating a whole lot was a health problem, and now you're eating well, then I guess this works. No, I'm not sure my fix is a good fix. Let's just move on and see how it works at the end. Uh, I don't think enough. There's been enough distance since mentioning the coronavirus for you to need to mention coronavirus again. Especially because here we're gonna need to, we might need to mention it again. Anyway, so because of that, I don't think we need to mention yet. I think everyone will understand that you're still talking about the same topic. So we can omit all this. 일상생활에서 better choices in life, in everyday life. Okay. So I'm not clear. This is a weird sentence because there's nothing inside that explains what these good choices were. So maybe those good choices were this. And it kind of sounds like good choices. Although it's a little bit structurally, it's a little bit weird. Because this lists something bad that I did, but it doesn't mention how it changed. And here it shows, I guess, a little bit of a good choice. Okay. So, noun. Let's not be so stuck with the structure. Let's leave it as it is. 선택들을 할 수 있게 되었어요. Let's just leave it as it is. 이전에는 스트레스를 많이 받았고 일 처리를 급하게 했어야 처리를 자주 급하게 했었어요. Something like that. I assume that this thing about not being able to slow down is related to work, and it's mentioned here too. 업무 속도가 많이 늦었다. So I assume it's that. So just saying 속도를 늦출 수 없어요. It's very confusing for the reader. So I just added some more details. Okay, so during lockdown, so there's a lot of things going on. So there's 마침내, which implies I wanted to learn how to bike, and I finally make the time to learn it. And there's also 폐쇄기간 동안, during lockdown, which seems to imply that because I was indoors or because I was at home, I was able to practice cycling. Whereas if I was, I guess, not at home, I wasn't able to learn. So now the problem is the whole thing about like the lockdown, the cause and effect relationship between staying at home and learning biking, like just content wise, it's not very clear to me. Now, the fact that if you're saying I finally learned it, is that fine without listing that you wanted to learn before? Okay. I would say 또한 집에서 지내는 시간이 늘어나면서 well, it's not even like that increasing. You're always it's not always. Sometimes you go out to the supermarket and buy groceries. So 엄청나게 늘어나면서 마침내 드디어 well, let's leave it as it. 자전거 타는 법을 마침내 배웠습니다. Wait, do I need to exclude it or can we leave it? Does it work either way? 자전거를 타는 yeah, we can work either way. 자전거를 타는 법을 마침내 배웠습니다. Okay. This is a little bit strange. So here we have something interesting. This is a very good, I mean, there's some details that are missing, but this is a very good sentence. So this sentence tries to establish an overarching theme for the entire write-up, And the reason it does that, I guess it's because it's 이 모든 것. So the typical structure for using this expression would be list all the bad things that you used to do. This was bad, this was bad, this was bad, this was bad. And then 그러나 이 모든 것이 바뀌었어요. And then list all the good things. That's the typical way in which you use this. And it just establishes this whole theme of like, well, and it goes, it's a very good, because with the theme, it goes along with the theme because the theme is, what did coronavirus change my life, in my life? However, so this is a good attempt. However, in the previous section before this sentence, there should be all the bad things, but it's actually a mix of good things and bad things and like things that changed. So and then like afterwards is, so this sentence is ambitious, but ended up being a bit of a 영두삼이. 영두삼이. Very ambitious, but it didn't quite have the oomph needed to have an impactful overall paragraph. That's okay. Let's leave it as it is, and let's see how we can fix the small things. So so you can't use 도 twice in the same sentence. I think we need to use 을 here because I don't see any other thing that relates the parallels to all the travels that you did earlier. Because here's a good thing. Oh, here is a bad thing. So if you're paralleling the travels with the stress, then you work. But in between, there's this distracting sentence. So that's why this is a better candidate to replace out. 여행을 너무 많이 해서 건강도 좋지 않았어요. Okay. So I assume these trips are business trips, right? So I would add 사업 여행을 너무 자주 해서 건강도 좋지 않았어요. 그러나 이 모든 것이 코비드 사태 이후로 바뀌었어요. What? What does this mean? Is it not a business trip? Was it personal trips? Is this person saying that I overdid it in my personal, because the typical thinking around trips is that they're good for your health, or at least that's what I get told as someone who likes staying home. People tell me, oh, you should travel more, go to the mountains, go to the beach, and breathe the fresh air. That's what the Koreans tell me. And it's gonna be good for your health. Don't stay in the city so much. But this guy is saying, I traveled too much and it really messed up my health. And my life changed for the good because the coronavirus curtailed my trips and I'm so confused. What's going on here? So is it not a business trip? What's going on? And also this connection between the first part and the second part is kind of weird. Ah. I don't understand what's going on with this sentence, but let's just try to make it flow at least, like just language wise, not content wise, just language wise, like not meaning wise, not meaning wise, but language wise. 여행을 그리워하면서 집에서 시간을 보내는 동안 좋은 습관들이 생기고 그 결과 제 인생이 영원히 바뀌게 되어 기쁘네요. Okay, so at least language-wise this works, although like meaning-wise I don't understand what's going on. Okay, let's leave it at that. Okay. All right, so this person is saying I developed all these good habits over the past year. So I hope, and I learned in the process. So none of these are lessons, as far as I can tell. So there's a little bit of a gap. There's a little bit of a, what's it called? A bit of a gap of meaning here. So we're gonna fix that. And then saying, I hope I don't forget them. Okay, so first thing I would change is 작년. 작년 is last year, but COVID is not over. So it sounds a little bit weird. And also because you are writing it in April. If you wrote this in January, I think it's fine. I think a better fit would be 지난 한 해 동안. It means over the past year. And it roughly means over the past 12 months. The meaning of it is a bit ambiguous. But unlike 작년, it doesn't imply that it's over. And it also doesn't imply that it was over in December. Okay. Okay, I don't think we need a journal here. 지난 한 해 동안. Now, I think we need to, in order to make a smoother transition to these lessons, which nowhere in here are lessons mentioned. So I think we need a little bit of a transition. 지난 한 해 동안, what are these lessons? That these things are good for you, right? These are the things that you did. 건강한, I think the main focus is health, like a healthy lifestyle. So I think that will be the overarching theme. 지난 한 해 동안 건강한 lifestyle. Is that how you say it? Let's just say like yeah, 건강한 lifestyle에 대해 많은 점들을 배웠고. 네. 배웠고 코로나 사태가 가라앉은 후에도 이 모든 학생의 교훈 잊지 않길 바래. Okay, so this verb conjugation is a little bit ambiguous because it can refer to either you or me. Yes is fine. You know, this sentence, this write-up has a mix of 합니다 and 해요, right? Did I introduce the 합니다? Oh, it's all 해요. Oh, here, you see, here is 합니다. So that's good. That's good because you know it has a mix of the formal and informal elements. And I think it's better to end, you know, in a formal tone. So I'm just gonna change that. 잊지 않게 되기를. And turn it into a passive. Because something strikes me as weird when you're saying 잊지 않길 바래요. It makes it a little ambiguous between the you and me, which is not that important, but it also makes it a little ambiguous between, I don't know, that you're wishing, but then the wishing depends on you. And by forcing it to be a passive verb, it's a little bit less awkward that you're wishing it now that it's passive, that now that you're implying that you don't have control over it. So that's why I would use this. All right. Very interesting write-up.